Well, it's that time of the week. We've reached the end of the second week. Weather's been brilliant, just as it is now. It's superb, it's just like spring. I wish things in the allotment had gone as well though. I've been trying to do these soil blocking and seeds, and it's been a bit, no, I won't say it's been a disaster, it's not been good. It's what's known as a learning curve, and you'll see all that in the upload. So for now, I'll show you what I've been doing. Okay, see you later. I had not sown any seeds, but to continue the learning I need to match like with like and sow the identical seeds in the different composts and record the results. Therefore these blocks are sent back to the bin and we will start afresh. After a couple of days I was surprised how firm the blocks were. You can actually throw them around. All the recipes demonstrated are for homestead farming, which calls for a barrel load of compost to be mixed. I don't need that much. A load based on 4 buckets of materials. Therefore, I'm mixing 1 bucket of material with 25% of added parts. I mixed in a bit too much here. I'll have to get rid of it. In goes the water. They say try to get the mix wetter. It's better it to be too wet than dryish. And try to get a shine on the compost, but that's difficult with peat. In goes a cupful, which is based of a quarter of lime, a quarter of vermiculite and a quarter of ordinary garden grow. Rather than use a plastic tray, I'm using a tin foil roasting tray, and into this I'm going to try putting one of these capillary mats that I got from Wilco's a couple of years ago. I don't know whether this is going to work, it's just an idea I've got, and I thought I'll just try it. Soak the mat in water, put it in the tray, and one of the offcuts, I'd soaked that and I've placed that underneath it, and that'll be a tail to go into a reservoir. And in go the first blocks, this being the standard compost with just the sand. This was the end of the day. The plan tomorrow was to sow seeds, which is St. Valentine's Day. But I awoke to a heavy frost, a thick mist, couldn't go to the plot, so I decided to make a new sign for the gate. And the new sign will say, plot number 7, no plastic would be fantastic. Now that should keep me out of trouble while the sun burns off the fog and melts the ice. That's the sign made, but now what takes the time is the painting. So that's priming, 2 undercoats, and I had to put on 2 gloss coats. So what's that, 5 days? Each coat was put on each day until it was finished. Back on to the allotment after lunch. The sun was out, temperature up to 16 degrees C, shirt sleeve weather, but disaster. That capillary matting idea was a bummer. Well, some ideas you win, others you lose, and this was a loser. The reservoir requires to be lower than the tin foil plate. Start again, Michael. My good lady wife had asked for more vegetables, and some were coming to an end, such as the parsnips and sprouts. And I also need to get these beds ready for the next crop, so they have to be picked and the beds cleared. Therefore, this week's harvest was leeks, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, swede and curly kale. This harvest also gave me the opportunity to show you the condition of my soil with its no dig. There's not a weed in sight. I'm amazed and impressed. Not bragging with my efforts, just the method of not digging and feeding the soil. I mean, if you look to places where I've not done the no digging, there are weeds, but this is where the sweet corn was last year. Not a weed in sight. Well, that's it for this week. Next week I've got a week off. I've got half term, we've got grandparents' duties to deal with. I've got a grandson that's got a 12-year birthday to celebrate. I'm taking my granddaughter to Oxford, and she's going to try living in the Halter residence and get some idea of what student life is in Oxford at St Hilda's. So not much to do on the allotment, I'm afraid. There is work to do, but I won't be doing it next week. So till next week, take care and bye.